I'm Andrea Clem, and I am going to be talking about and sharing with you today a story about a past life I had and why it's so important and what that's done for me to discover what was at the roots of my experiences, where that foundation was, and the fears that it helped me overcome by doing this work on my present life, where it unfolded, and where it came from in a past life. So I've done a lot of work on this, and I'm going to share the story about it with you. So I looked at Saturn in my chart, and Saturn is a planet of limitation, hard work, responsibility, time, and management, and being the sign of Aquarius, it's a masculine sign. And so I was definitely a male in that lifetime. And it actually registers in time in June of 1869, which was the world age of Aquarius. It's not the same as the age we're living in, which is at the end of Pisces right now. So here's the background behind this. I moved to Florida in 2017, and I had a series of very unsettling experiences, and I would have to say very tumultuous, very frightening. And so I ended up having to have a surgery in March of 2019. And in the process of waiting to be taken into the operating room, I had a vision of the doctor being a doctor from back in the time of the Civil War, it took place between April 12th, 1861 and April 9th of 1865. So I also saw that I was in some type of a hospital, a tent hospital. I could hear people around me screaming, other people having surgery as well, and a lot of people running around. And it was just a very frightening experience. And so I decided to look a lot deeper into that. And actually, when I lined my chart up over the world map, I have a line that goes right through Florida, which is my sun line, which is it was my work back then to uh, serve in some way. And so there is a technique I use, which is Dr. Weiss's past life cards. And these are also by Doreen Virtue. And so I pulled a card asking the question, referencing my Saturn, who was I in this lifetime? And I got this card, imprisonment or slavery. So I'm going to read you what that card says. This card signified that you spent time imprisoned or in slavery. Your rights were taken from you as well as your dignity and freedom. You are free now, but you still may harbor fears related to that lifetime. For example, you may feel claustrophobic in confined spaces or on airplanes. And I have. I used to be terrified to fly, and I'd sit there and pray the whole time and meditate and talk to angels. And after I did this work on healing this particular lifetime, I now sit at the window, I look out the window, and I'm not scared at all. So that's huge for me. I was also scared of heights. So, what further this says is that I may have developed a form of Stockholm syndrome where I felt empathetic toward those who abused me. On the other hand, your experiences can also make you feel exquisitely compassionate toward those who suffer. And I do. I actually feel people's pain when I'm around someone who's in a lot of pain. I actually feel it in my body. So the card also says you may devote yourself to defending underdogs and bringing more love and justice to this world. To heal any residual fears from that previous lifetime, remember the details of the past life to loosen the shackles and free yourself from the symptoms. Channel your altruistic feelings and tendencies into helping society. Acts of kindness and compassion heal the individual as well as the world. And that is what I've been doing for the last 24 years. And again, I want to say that it's a great tool for removing root issues, for looking at where in this lifetime that first developed. For me, it was between 6 and 9 months old. And at that time, I had a step grandmother, you might say, who brought my mom up from 8 years old on. And she was pretty much a big part of my life throughout my life. And she was somebody that taught me to work. She was somebody who was very kind and generous, showed me a lot of compassion. And so this really helped me along with past life regression, where I went back to that time and I saw it like a movie on TV. And so it was very helpful. And, Saturday is also about how you work, what you do, and the responsibilities that you take. So that also helped me with the work that I do now, and understood some of the fears that came from that because of strict abuse from another lifetime. So I wanted to share that with you, and you might want to ask yourself, who was I in a past lifetime? That might really help you to uncover some areas that would be very freeing. So I want to say thanks everyone for tuning in. And if I can help you uncover your past lives, I'd be happy to do that. Take good care. I'll see you next week.